Good morning, good day, whatever time of the day you happen to be watching this video. My name is Brian Martin, and I am the author of the book, Eternity is the E in Love, and it is subtitled Experience Meaning and Change the World with the Power of Love. And every week at this time, I read a section of this book. There's a lot of fun, neat things in here. In a couple weeks, we're going to get really, really personal. And my book is available on Amazon. And so I'll be reading that today. There's a couple things I want to talk to you about. First of all, this isn't the only book that I've written. I've written 3 others, and then there's one in the hopper too. Another book that I really enjoyed writing was My Ideal Day of Love by Brian Lee Martin. And this is the subtitle of this one is 24 Hours of Love at Home and Work. And what I did is this has 24 chapters of things that I think are just essential for having a full day of love. Actually, I think I went over a couple chapters, and I think I got 26 chapters in this book. But this is a delightful little book, and I really had a blast writing that book. The other book that you may know about that I wrote is called Kindness is the Most Powerful Little Thing in the World. And this is the first of my series of 4 books called called Kindness as the Most Powerful Thing of Love. And the subtitle is 3 Types of Transformational Kindness for Everyone. It's amazing. It's a good book. And the first book that I wrote, based on my experience as a pastor and as a marriage and family therapist, back in the old days, is Fun Loving, How to Have a Practically Perfect Relationship. And actually, this book is modeled off my relationship with Jennifer, my wife. And we've been married for a couple decades. Won't go too much into that. And those books are all available for you on Amazon. Today's reading, as I noted, is from pages 49 through 54. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through all of it. We'll see. I like to only take about 15 minutes to share this with you. So the schedule that I have today might be a little bit too long for a 15-minute reading. First up is the Gift of Years exercise. Now we're closing out, getting close to the end of part 1. And in the beginning of part 1, I have a quote, and I want to share this with you. It's on page 9. And this is the quote. I'll never forget the sense of wholeness I felt when I finally realized what, in fact, I really was. Not just a songwriter or a language buff, or a student of human development, or a telecommunicator. But I was someone who could use every single talent that I had ever been given to me in the service of children and their family. And that's Fred Rogers. Now, a couple things about that I think is really interesting is that he said, when I realized what in fact I really was. His search for identity is pronounced there, isn't it? What I was, what I am. And what he was is an individual who had specific talents. And in my book, I talk a lot about gifts and skills and talents and tools. And talents are the things that differentiate you from other people in your community. And what differentiates Fred Rogers is service to children and their families. Isn't that beautiful? Now, that's a great way for us to begin our time together, because I'm going to share with you the end of the chapter called The Gift of Years is an exercise. And this is on page 49. Let me share this exercise with you. And this is, I like to go back and I like to do this exercise just to read it kind of meditatively and kind of let it sink in. It's a nice exercise because the question is, what will you do with your gift of years? Take a deep breath. Take another one. Imagine that you were in a car accident and left in critical condition. When you wake up, you find yourself in the emergency room on a gurney with a bag of blood hanging on an IV pole. What's strange is that the IV is just hanging there. It's not connected to you. It's as if it was removed from you and is just hanging there. You try to yell for help, but there's something in your throat and you can't utter a sound. Just then a woman comes through the curtain. She's so familiar to you, but you can't quite figure out who she is. Her face and countenance immediately puts you at ease. She smiles, you smile, and she smiles at you. She doesn't speak, but you can feel her voice and her words. They reverberate through your cells. She says, you were in an accident and you were badly injured. The medical team here has not been able to save you. But this is not the end for you. You will survive and you will have a long road to recovery. You have the gift of years. Use them wisely. As she speaks, a tear runs from your eye and you feel a wave of peace. She continues, you have been endowed with and you have developed gifts and skills and talents and tools which you can use all the days of your life. You try to blink the tears from your eyes. As she turns to leave the room, her eyes become one with your eyes, and she says, love flows to your heart and from your heart to the world. The world needs your love. A machine next to you suddenly starts to beep, and she's gone. Suddenly the room is filled with medical workers, and you fall back into a peaceful sleep. The next thing you remember is waking up to the concerned smiles of your loved ones. When you see them, you realize that there is so much more you have to do. Take a moment and write a few words in the margin next to this paragraph and answer this question. What will you do with your gift of years? I just love that. I'm tempted to continue the reading, but I'm eight and a half minutes into this, and so I'm going to stop. And I would really encourage you to go back and to listen to this reading again. It's a real short. It's just a page and a half barely, and it's just beautiful. It's a wonderful exercise for you to take. It's on page 49 of my book, and it's a beautiful exercise. The thing that stands out to me is most of us don't realize or take advantage of the gift of years that have been given to us. When we consider that our ancestors, many thousands and thousands of years ago, the average length of life was 25 years, and then it grew to 40 something, and then in the late 20th century, we got all the way into the 80s, and we have this gift of so many years that our ancestors didn't get to enjoy, and we get caught up in so many little things that are not so important that we forget to use the gifts that we have to help other people. Well, that's at the essence of how you find meaning for life. And you can find some of the answers here in this book. It's available on Amazon. And let me remind you also of my other books. And I have a special gift idea for you today. This is another one that I told you about in the first of our time today. It's my ideal day of love, 24 hours of love at work and home. And 24 chapters that correspond to the 24 hours. I actually stretched it out to 26. And then I also have kindness is the most powerful little thing in the world. 3 types of transformational kindness for everyone. And then the one that started it all, fun loving, how to have a practically perfect relationship. And that's a great book. You'll really like that. And they're all available on Amazon. And here's my special treat for you today. The third person that messages me their mailing address, I'm going to send you all 4 books, signed copies, just as an appreciation for you tuning in to my little weekly storytelling. Also, on Sunday morning at Rev B. Martin, that's at Rev B. Martin. I have another Facebook page at Rev B. Martin. I have the gospel lesson for the week. And so you can tune into there and enjoy another vignette. I'm Brian Martin, and I hope that you have a really, really great day. God bless you. I love you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.